Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Doing some upgrades and some improvements here on my little backyard fire pit kitchen, and this is what I'm working on. This is a little oven that I've made out of some fire bricks that I got in my local cement place. They're just silica fire bricks. They cost me about $1.89 a piece, so I don't have a whole lot of money into this, maybe $25. And I got some old scavenged cement blocks here that these bricks are sitting up on, and I'm going to fire it with my local wood here. And the whole point of this is I want to see if I can figure out an off-grid way with just simple improvised stuff to bake a small loaf of bread or a small pizza or something like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Kind of took the rocket stove design on this, kind of made a little chimney there in the back. Just start a little wood fire in there with some newspaper and that wood that I just showed you. And I've actually fired this a couple of times. I haven't baked anything in it yet. I'm going to actually do that today. And after about an hour, hour and a half, I can keep about 350, 360 degrees inside this. So that's hot enough to bake something. So I'm going to try to bake a small loaf of bread here. Kind of want to show you what this looks like inside. Kind of just fire everything up, and then I kind of push the coals to the back of the stove with a little improvised tool that I made. And I got a little bit of a chimney on here so I can kind of adjust the flow of the air out of this. But I kept a pretty steady temperature in here when I was practicing. So this is kind of my improvised oven. When I got this going here, I'm going to kind of show you what the fire looks like inside and see if I can't get something baked in it. Well, I got my bread dough stirred up. It's rising right now. I'm going to start my fire in my little oven. As you can see here, I just took my small pieces of wood and I put them on top of some paper. Kind of packed the chimney full too. I'm going to light this and then close it up except for the front. And what's going to happen is the air is going to draw through on this end and up and out the chimney. It's going to draw the fire to light everything. And then it's going to start to heat up. And as this wood burns down, I'm going to take my little improvised tool here that I made, and I'm going to push those coals to the back of the oven by the chimney. And then that's going to leave kind of this area in here. That's going to be the hot surface where I'm going to try to bake on. And then as I'm baking and I want to add more wood, the coals are going to be on this end of the chimney, and I'm going to just feed more wood into the back of that so it kind of maintains the heat. But anyway, I'm going to get this going here, and when I got a good fire going in here, I'm going to kind of show you what that looks like. As you guys can see, I got my fire going, burning good. Got my oven all closed up. Smoke is drawing the fire to the back of the oven just like I want it to. And as this burns, I got a little bit of a tool here that I made, just an old spatula that I got on a piece of pipe to push those coals to the back of the oven. And I'm going to keep feeding wood into it to keep the temperature up. And when I'm ready to get a little loaf of bread in here, I'm going to show you what that looks like, guys. One other thing with my little makeshift oven that I got going on here, you can kind of see where the smoke's coming out of there. There's a little bit of flame licking up out of that crack in my makeshift chimney. That can actually be used as a cooking surface. I could set a cast iron pan on there and I could cook something with the heat that's actually escaping from my oven so I can get the most out of my firewood. Just one more thing here I wanted to show you. Well, you can see there I got my coals pushed to the back of the oven, and I got my little loaf here that I got made. Kind of looks like that. We're going to slide this guy right in here. Now we're going to close him up, let him bake a little bit. Well, I got the loaf in there baking. I kind of put the other block that I got over the top of the chimney to kind of keep the heat in, because we're going to try to get him good and brown anyway. But I just kind of wanted to show you here how I arrange the blocks to keep the heat into the oven, so I got a good baking temperature. Well, here's the first loaf. Got a little burnt on the edges, but I don't think it turned out too bad for the very first time that I've ever done this. So got a little bit more dough in there. I'm going to try to do another one, adjust my cooking time. I did about 7.5, 8 minutes, and then I turned the loaf end for end. We're actually going to cut that time down a little bit. I'm going to rearrange my coals in there a little bit to kind of reheat the oven where this bread was, and I'm going to try to do another loaf. And here we are for loaf number 2. We're going to try to get a little bit better color on it this time, not so burnt on the ends. Going to try to rotate it just a little bit sooner than before, but we're going to get this guy in here now. Just like that. We're going to close him up, and we're going to bake him. And here's the second loaf. Tended this loaf a little bit closer than the other one, so I didn't get those burnt ends on it. Nice and golden brown here. We're going to take this in, let it cool, see what it tastes like. And here's kind of what the finished product looks like, minus the burnt ends, but you can kind of see there, bake through, got a little bit of a crust on it. Looks pretty good. And here's the interior of the second loaf. Looks really good, nice and brown, cooked good inside. Kind of pleased with the results from this experiment. Well, we got one last thing we're going to try, and that's a pizza. This is kind of a Bob's Red Mill gluten-free pizza dough mix. I'm going to try this in our little makeshift oven here. I'm going to put it in for a couple of minutes, let it get a little bit started as far as bacon, get a little bit of a crust on it. Then we're going to take it out, put little toppings on it, and we're going to put it back in to finish up. Now this is the final product. Hope you guys enjoyed this little backyard bacon that I've been doing here today. Hope you got a little information and a little entertainment out of it. Got any questions, you can put them down in the comments. Try to answer them the best I can. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. I hope you guys like these kind of videos that I'm doing. Just a little off-grid bacon today. But this is Modern Refugee. You guys have a great day.